Episode 251 of The Way I Heard It is called, and I'm quoting, "You wear 40 pounds of gear because, you're on fire quite a bit."
That's a direct quote. That's exactly what he said.
And it's not a direct quote from a fireman. It's a direct quote from a race car driver, specifically Matt Hagan, who drives funny cars for a living. When he's not running his ranch or his farm or growing strawberries or bringing in human fertilizer or picking
up tampons.
Yeah. Don't wreck everything. This is a super weird, completely unscriptable, but ultimately, I think one of the more valuable conversations we've ever had. Matt Hagan, where in the world are you?
Virginia, at home, actually.
Oh, nice.
So it's, super nice to be at home. It's just never enough hours in the day, though, man. You know how that goes. It's just trying to cut my grass this morning. It was still wet, and just trying to just get it all done, feed cattle, and like I got this thing to do today and, still get back. We're breeding heifers and it's just, trying to get rye up and plant corn as well. And it, never enough hours, brother.
Are you doing the AI thing down there on the farm?
We are actually. We're AI and some heifers. I got about 120 that we're holding back from this group of calves that we had come in and AIing them up and then throw in 2 cleanup bulls and, all that kind of stuff. So just, I hadn't really done a whole lot of AI, but I keep about 30, anywhere from 35 to 40 bulls, and we just kind of throw them in with our herd and let them go to work, you know what I mean? And just let them do their thing. And then we pull everything in 3 months and preg check and stuff. But it's always, it's better if you can AI, but it's just a matter of time doing them. And
just for people who might not be exactly sure what we're talking about, this is not a rumination on artificial intelligence. This is artificial insemination.
Right.
Matt Hagan knows a thing or two about that. He runs a farm. Technically, I guess it's a ranch, right, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know. People call it farm ranch. I mean, it's 3,400 acres out here in Virginia. It's split up though a little bit, like 500 acres here, 300 acres there, another 800 acres here. So it's just kind of we see a little bit of windshield time before we actually get to the farm some days. And you're paying your guys to kind of ride around a little bit, but I guess whatever it takes, nowadays.
Well, when you
have
about
cattle
windshield,
and crops, right?
Yeah.
Cattle and crops?
Yeah, cattle and crops. I mean, all the crops are for the feed for the cattle, you know what I mean? So we don't really sell a lot of our feed, but I mean, I sell some corn salads and stuff like that, but mainly just, to feed the, the cattle that we have.
Didn't you say you farm strawberries as well?
Yeah, we got some strawberries. You pick your own strawberries. I got a hemp farm, for CBD. And
I was going to say, you don't feed the strawberries to the cows, right?
No, those are for people. But, if they'll come out there and, kind of pick your own. We do a couple acres and pick your own strawberries and stuff like that, and do a bunch of flowers in our greenhouses and stuff. So just, a bunch of old lady stuff, you know what I mean?
What you do is, Chuck, is you feed the hemp to the cows first, then they get the munchies for the strawberries, then you get the strawberries, and then
you do the AI.
Then you do the AI. That's called a Friday night down on the farm. What that is.
There you go,
dude. I thought of you the other night because I knew you were going to be on here, and I've got like 1,000 questions for you.
So real quick, not to interrupt your story, but I had one of my teammates, Ron Capps. He actually won the championship last year. I runnered up, and then the year before that, I won the championship, and he runnered up. And so we go back and forth. We're definitely kind of one of those guys that we battle it out, every year. And he's a city
Matt,
guy.
Forgive me, but to be clear, you're talking about funny car competition, not artificial insemination competition.
Funny car competition.
We do not yet have AI as an Olympic sport, although a fella can dream.
That's right. Yeah, your funny car competition. And so he's kind of from California, never been on a farm before, just golfs and hangs out in the sun, you know what I mean, when he's not driving a race car. And so I was like, man, you got to come out here to the farm and we're going to get you dirty. I think he went into Tractor Supply and bought him a pair of bibs the night before, and so he never been dirty in his life, but great guy. So I got him out here, and we were actually doing that. We were doing fertility soundness exams on bulls. And so, I got like 30 or 40 bulls to get through. And so I was like, Caps, every mammal except for humans and whales have bones in their penis, right?
Sure.
So, but in a bull, you have to stick your hand in its ass and make sure there's no bone spurs or anything like that. And
right.
I was like, Caps, you need to stick your hand in his ass, and check, make sure he's good, and so he's like, he looks at me, he's like, you done this before? I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. And, so he's over there, he's, elbow deep in this bull, and he's like, man, this is different. And I was like, yeah, I've never done it before, man. And he just like fell apart, you know what I mean? And I was like, and ESPN was there, so we had him on camera with ESPN and everything else, and it was great, man. It was great. I was like, yeah, I mean, I've always let the vet do it, you know what I mean? So it did. He was like, man, you got me, but it was funny. He was a good sport about it.
Well, as weird as that was for your buddy, I can tell you it was 1,000 times weirder for the executives at the Discovery Channel back in 2003, because these people, they okayed a story on AI. And they thought I was going out to do a dirty job with like robots, right? Artificial intelligence.
Right.
We came back from collecting the sperm from a bull called Hunsucker Commando. And dude, when you say a rod, what you're talking about is like, it's like a miniature version of the Hindenburg, right? It's about 1.5 feet long.
Yeah.
And it's got these
big old handle.
It's got a handle and it's got wires hanging out of the back of it. And I pulled this thing out of what I called the tackle box from Amsterdam, because inside was just tubes of lube and this giant probe, which basically goes into the bull to the point where the tip touches its prostate. And then you run a little current through, and that triggers a reaction.
Right. And you got to catch it.
You got to catch it. I still remember the ranchers saying to me, Mike, what would you rather do? Turn the knobs or hold the cup?
Turn the knobs. Turn the knobs.
Turn the knobs is the right answer, but on dirty jobs, I'm like, nah, I'll hold the cup.
I'll hold the cup. Yeah, it's a dirty job there, that's for sure. And poor old bull, man.
So it's impossible to know really where to start.